Titan voting is a fan-made voting event for whichever viewers that chose their favorite character who love the most can become a new member of the Teen Titans depending on their opinion of that new character, whether they like or not. If it's the occurrence that comes from chronological events, before it start having a voting event, whichever character that received the most votes will become a new member of the Teen Titans temporary depending of that character feels or to have his or her reason. Some of these characters that owned by, for example, Warner Bros. 20th Century Studios, Walt Disney Animation Studios, DreamWorks Animations, from the other YouTubers, etc., who have been pre-signed up for the audition for the early stages of the Titan voting right before it'll shows the date of start of the voting and the date of end of the voting. These votes from viewers may be more predictable and dependable when viewers have decided to vote their one favorite character at the time. On the updates for the Titan voting, it'll, whenever changing the character design form, removing the characters who were no longer needed to be qualified, adding one or more characters at the time. And within all characters that were regained is simple work, as an experience that Titan voting will be success at this project. Even it'll maybe plan to add even more characters to be sign up and to be listed for the audition before the starting of the voting. This may otherwise be still signed for the next Titan voting, or to be kicked out depending on which character felt, or when they're disqualified from the Titan voting. Events might occur usually depending on which days have nearly or completely changed or updated because of one of the character's actions and or ideas after their journeys or competitions. The others, for example, Shadow or Shrek, have implied or witnessed that if that character have certain happen, or even they've changed their designs, meaning that character would realize that it was that character's fault. It usually happened when the characters were wanted to hang out with the other characters due to they've wanted to still become friends with them even when they were crossover characters, or when they want to remember that character. This voting poll usually lasts for less than 72 hours, less than 4 weeks, less than 6 months, or even a year. Titan voting also usually starts on the first day of the month, including January 1st and July 1st. Viewers have their chance to vote their favorite character at the time. Before the very first beginning of the Titan voting era, from 2016 through 2018, David had been through lots of fun stuff by using characters from Family Guy, The Lounge House, Star versus the Forces of Evil, Regular Show, SpongeBob SquarePants, Uncle Grandpa, The Simpsons, Battle for Dream Island, etc. to reimagine within their scenarios of the way they treat their characters were like. In late 2017, he set up his newer crossover scenarios into his title of his folder called David DeVito's Files from File 1 to 24, of redrawing of its scenarios in 1 by 1 or 2 of blank papers. On July 2017, Anna's Bands the movie was the first project that David wanted to create by using Toontastic and Power Director. It was supposed to release on July 14, 2017, but it got into the indefinite delay. In that year, it was the first time where he created his very own OC characters out with their human forms when he was 11 years old, which will later be used in his future projects. On January 2018, David had created Cancellations characters, which basically means that the evil grayscaled characters will mainly be part of the cartoon character camping event. He have created his second YouTube channel on April 30th. 2018, right after his very first YouTube channel got terminated on February 2018 due to receiving 3 strikes from community guidelines, or it's his own younger age, that violates the Google's terms of service. Before David had started watching the Teen Titans Go series again after he last time stopped watching that show in 2014. He also established his own reimagined cartoon character heroes from his imagination, but not yet been published, that refined as character campings called ASACFA, abbreviated as American Animated Shows Even Choice for All, which all animated movie, series, and games were part of their cartoon character campaign of elimination, which would later succeed as CHOP, abbreviated as Cartoon Heroes of Phoebe Campings, as another cartoon character camping event formerly known as Four's Crumble Camp, based on the Object Show campings that's similar to Troc 2 and Troc 3, which that includes the Teen Titans Go characters themselves if yet being mentioned. But that cartoon camping event is still unexpectedly yet unpublished in real life, but still had an intro that was published. In 2019, while David had been seen of episode called Communicate Openly from Teen Titans Go, Bumblebee may be the second person to become a sixth member of the Teen Titan. Originally, Tara was the first person to become a sixth member of the Teen Titans from the original 2003 series itself. On the episode The Viewers Decide 46th episode of the 5th season of Teen Titans Go have premiered, and while David sees it, the Titans breaking the fourth wall and telling the viewers to call a number on the bottom of the screen to vote on whether Bumblebee should join Titans East or Titans West. There either depends that if that viewer would like to let whether Bumblebee should stay or leave, but that Bumblebee have wanted to prefer to become Batbee so that at the end of the episode, Bumblebee has long left, going to Gotham City and is with Commissioner Gordon having a fun time being Batbee as Batman's new sidekick. The episode ends with an inscription saying that Bumblebee will not return, meaning that this was a very decisive to create his event that David had a brilliant idea. At the very first beginning of the era, on April 10, 2020, during the long event of COVID-19 pandemic, he created his first ever Titan voting event, something called 7th Titan Voting. It is also the first unpublished Titan voting that has not yet been released in real life. It was based on the episode that given his ideas to let that poll keeps on going. He also set up the time and from date through date, and to withhold its 75 characters, and within added 5 social medias like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter to setting up Google Forms to share a round of these social medias it had. Additionally, David did not have his own Twitter account until November 2020. In addition, during the year of 2020, David also assumes again to made up in his own fancy but modern vastly restaurant called It's Cool 58. However, on the inside of the restaurant, he had also imagined to have every food to be severed based on its food menu. And on the bottom of the restaurant, it had a biggest underground kitchen with a large freight elevator. Many chefs created every dishes from their ingredients whatever they like to eat. This restaurant might have referred Pizza Inn, that was founded in 1958, as a Dallas-based restaurant chain and international food franchise specializing in American-style, pan pizza, pasta, and side dishes. Currently, that restaurant had partly been confirmed to be used during Titan voting events. On the first day of September 2020, David had also created the second Titan voting event, which is called 8th Titan Voting. This is also the second Titan voting that was not yet been published in real life. It withholds over 83 characters and within 6 social medias like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, TikTok, Instagram, to supposedly shared. This Titan voting event may last throughout the US presidential election 2020 until the end of the year, which definitely this Titan voting will be ended on December 31st, 2020. Sincerely, David didn't have Discord account yet until January 24th, 2021. 3 years later, as of March 11th, 2024, he'd actually set up his very own Discord server, in which that named it as LT Cattyverse. On December 2020, in the new episode of Teen Titans Go, called Superhero Feud, which was premiered on Cartoon Network, according to the executives, that the Teen Titans Go version of Bumblebee was supposed to return in the episode. However, they decided not to include her, because they wanted to focus on a 5-member team, thus making some fans upset. However, she later reappear on the new upcoming fan-made crossover sequel movie, which was David who made, is called Teen Titans Go, and DC Superhero Girls Mayhem in the Multiverse 2. Across the DC universe, as a supporting protagonist, that she reveals that she has been busy being a Batbee, and later be rejected by Batman and one of her team members, and especially her friends due to her lack of relationships towards others, but except Titan East or Titan West. Before September 2021, David had made up the new poster coming up and withholding up to 121 characters for the next upcoming Titan voting event, which basically called something Titan Voting. Basically, this Titan voting poster had a same amount of social medias as from the last Titan voting. Affirmatively, something Titan Voting had started voting on September 1st, 2021, and it'll ended voting by December 31st, 2021. This Titan voting is once again not being published in real life either. after that time have passed, and unfortunately, there are no plans for the upcoming Titan voting event called the 9th Titan voting at this point. However, despite all this, that the 9th Titan voting event was cancelled due to losing any members who've recently joined as a new member of the Teen Titans after the final voting results. And as for the another reason that why it was cancelled, it was most likely due to the copyright issues, which means that the Titan voting had officially started an indefinite break. From 2020 to 2021, he used to create a drawing poster to head a Titan voting event poster until 2023. Several months later, on May 2023, he decided to plan his upcoming Titan voting event for next year's voting event. This voting event would have particularly occur throughout or after the production of the fan-made sequel crossover movie called Teen Titans Go! And DC Superhero Girls Mayhem in the Multiverse 2, across the DC universe, produced by David C. Oviedo, alongside with his upcoming movie project he create was called Jared. This will be its first time that this Titan voting event will generally be published in real life by link into Google Forms and will sending it to any other social medias he had. On May 25, 2023, at Instagram, he was first mentioned, and then he also posted the return of the Titan voting event, which will be officially named it 6th Titan Voting Reimagined. He decided to create and edit the new Titan voting event, which is the 6th Titan Voting Reimagined poster, into screening instead. And additionally, this Titan voting event was used to head with hold of 256 characters in total. However, despite of this, Pomni is now added. Therefore, this Titan voting had many more updates at certain times, mainly because one of his enthusiastic ideas that he was replacing and removing other characters for those that are not usable at some point. Currently, it's now with hold of 257 characters as of November 22, 2023. Finally, after 2.5 years of the Titan voting's indefinite hiatus, and right after when David have planned for the new upcoming Titan voting event, even the trailer as well, the 6th Titan Voting Reimagined will begin voting for their most favorite character on July 1, 2024. At 12 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at Google Forms, to share with 10 social medias like Instagram, Facebook, YouTuber, Discord, DeviantArt, Tumblr, Wattpad, Snapchat, TikTok, and X, formerly known as Twitter, in Google Forms, from Group A to P, with holds of 16 characters on each 16 groups, to vote for one favorite, except for Group K, which withholds of moreover 17 characters due to Pomni is now added. After this Titan voting event have finally ended on July 1, 2025 at 12 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, exactly a year right after when it was first started, and whether that one character, who've received the most favorite votes, he or she will temporarily become a new member of the Teen Titans,